Ted Seuss Geisel was born on March 2nd, 1904, in Springfield, Massachusetts. Ted's mother, Henrietta Seuss Geisel, would read to his big sister Marnie and him. Ted later had said he got his love of wordplay and reading from his mother. From his father, Theodore, Ted had gotten interested in machines. His father in his shop had tinkered and made wacky inventions. At a very young age, Ted had loved to doodle. He would always have a pad and pencil with him at all times. Close by his house was actually a zoo, so when Ted would be in his bed, he could hear all sorts of animal noises. During the day, Ted would draw all sorts of pictures of the animals. His sister Marnie had always said his animals never quite looked like the real ones. Soon after high school, Ted went to Dartmouth College, where he worked on humor magazines. He had drawn crazy animals with absolutely zany names. Sometimes he signed his drawings with just his middle name, Seuss. Ted had started to study at Oxford University in England. Ted had met his first wife, Helen, while studying there. They had moved into an apartment in New York City, and Ted kept doodling. While on a ship, it inspired him to write his first book, and to think that I saw it on Mulberry Street. Some of his books even won awards. For example, Horton Hatches the Egg was a very big hit in 1940. In 1947, Ted moved to La Jolla, California, into an old fire tower. Ted's studio was up in the tower. Did you know Ted always had a rack of crazy hats, which were a hat of a fireman, a Turkish fez, and admiral hats from all around the world. One of Ted's techniques was when he was having some trouble with a story he was working on, he would just put on a silly hat. Someone had dared Ted to write a book using only 225 simple words. It took him more than a year to write it, and then that's how The Cat in the Hat was published in the year 1957. Do you know what else came out in 1957? How the Grinch Stole Christmas. 8 years and a lot of hard work later, Ted worked with Chuck Jones to create the special animated television movie based on How the Grinch Stole Christmas. In 1967, Dr. Seuss's wife passed away. But things started to pick up a year later when he married Audrey Stone Diamond. Audrey had a great eye. She had told Ted to use more color into his books. Then Ted's work had become way more colorful. Unfortunately, Ted had been sick with cancer for some years. But he had just one last book he had to write. It was a book that gave advice about life's ups and downs, and he titled it, Oh, the Places You'll Go. Ted had passed away on September 24th, 1991, but the words just before his death will always be remembered at heart. So be sure when you step with great care and great tact, and remember that life's a great balancing act. And will you succeed? Yes, you will indeed. 98 3/4% guaranteed. Kid, you move mountains.